Paragraph A, you said sixth.
Sixth.
How wildlife benefits from big trees. So let's see any paraphrase like this. Yeah, big trees are incredibly important ecologically. Yes,
Yes,
sustain
sir.
much of the animal life in the forest, giving same sense, right? Provide
Yes,
shelter
sir.
for many animals. Six. How benefit from wildlife? Correct. You're right. 6.1 would be the suitable. Is there any other paragraph can have same meaning? Same meaning like wildlife getting benefited from big trees. Is there any other paragraph? Wildlife is benefiting from big trees. Is there any other paragraph giving same sense? Karthik?
No, sir.
No. So if you won't find any better option, of course,
Hmm.
I can say clear information like they provide
Direct.
shelter for many animals and sustain. Sustain means feed, nourish much of the animal life in the forest. Foliage. Yeah. Next one, paragraph B.
Paragraph B is tenth one.
Factors that enable trees to grow significant heights. Of course, yes. To achieve, you know, giant stature, true needs three things. Yes, the factors have been clearly given. Right place to establish seedling, good growing conditions, low adult mortality. You are right.
Sir.
And hmm, Karthik, you're saying something.
Hello.
Karthik, tell me.
Hello.
Karthik, what happened?
Voice clear, sir. Voice.
No clear voice? Isn't it? Isn't my voice clear enough?
Ah, yes.
Right.
Yes, sir.
How about paragraph C?
Paragraph C is third one. Three.
Which big trees support the most diverse species? Which big trees? Which
Hmm.
big trees means it is asking what kind of big trees.
Ah.
In which paragraph the types of big trees have been spoken about? Which big trees means there must be types of big trees discussed in any one of the paragraphs.
Hmm.
So out of all the types of big trees, which big trees support the most diverse species? So let's see whether I can see that information. In some parts of the world, populations of big trees are dwindling. Dwindling means reducing, declining, because their seedlings cannot survive or grow. Okay, reason has been given why big trees population is reducing. In southern
Yes.
India, for instance, an aggressive non-native shrub. Okay, this is the reason in southern India why big trees number is declining.
Decline.
Invading the floor of, okay, this is invasive species. Lanthana grows so thickly that young trees often fail to take root. Okay, they can't grow further at all. Even
Hmm.
there are seeds, okay, under the ground, they fail to take root. With no young trees to replace them, it is only a matter
Hmm.
of time before most of the big trees disappear. Yes. So no young trees to replace this particular, uh,
Hmm.
non-native shrub. Obviously, there won't be any new big trees growing, right? There won't be any new big trees growing. Their number drastically reduces.
reduces.
Across much of northern Australia, gamba grass. Okay, this is another problematic non-native, species. In southern India, this is the one obstructing the growth of new big trees.
Big
Similarly,
trees.
in Australia, this is gamba grass is the one overrunning the native savanna. Okay, overrunning means overtaking,
Yes.
replacing, something of that sort. You should be able to estimate the meaning as per the context. The grass grows up to 4 meters tall. Oh my god. And burns fiercely. Okay, if there is any fire accident, it is going to burn, you know, rapidly, aggressively, creating
Mm.
super hot fires that cause catastrophic mortality. Okay, so that is, susceptible to fire. If it once, you know, gets fire, it continuously burns aggressively, causing death of other trees also, right? So this is
Yes.
the paragraph talking about the reasons, okay, the reasons of declining of big trees numbers, right?
Mm. Yes, sir.
So what's the type of big trees? What are the other type of big trees discussed in this paragraph? No other type of big trees discussed in this paragraph. Instead, I can see the reasons for declining the number of big trees.
Mm.
The reasons of declining in the number of
Big trees.
big trees. So which option is which heading is giving such sense? Impact of big trees loss in the wider environment. How other plants can cause, yes. How other plants can cause harm. Is it, what are the other plants mentioned? Gamba and also lantana. Something
Lantana.
lantana or something. Right?
Okay.
C must be second.
Okay. I think my wrong. Wrong.
In this paragraph, you can see other plants are causing harm to big trees.
Mm-hmm.
Correct? There is no such information talking about other big trees or a type of big trees.
Mm-hmm. Okay, sir.
It's even the non-native species won't support, and won't get supported by the big trees,
Mm.
right? Yeah. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood why I picked the second one?
Yes, sir. They are supporting.
Have you understood why the third heading is wrong?
Yes, sir. Because third
Okay.
one is
Which big
supporting
trees
the
can
diverse species. But
which
in
big
the
trees means there
second
must be
one, they are
type
harming.
of big trees spoken about in the paragraph. And also in the paragraph I can see the big trees, big trees are not supporting anybody. Non-native species are causing deaths of big trees. There is no supporting
Mm.
kind of information anywhere in the paragraph,
Yes.
in that particular third paragraph, paragraph C. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next.
Ninth, sir. Ninth one. D is 9.
Paragraph D, 9. I hope it should be correct. Let's see. Ninth one is how higher temperatures slow the rate of tree growth. Okay. So basically, firstly given passages in your Ielts reading can easily be handled, can easily be, completed within 15 minutes. Just going with
Mm.
first two sentences and last two sentences of each paragraph can make to get over this matching the headings question type. Most cases. So without the right growing conditions, trees cannot get really big. And there is some evidence to suggest tree growth could slow. Yes, I have got the information right.
Mm.
Okay. The tree growth could slow in a warmer world. There is straight information, right?
Yes, sir.
Particularly environments in already warm. And
having worked
Tree
for
growth,
decades.
right, declines
Mhm.
significantly in warmer years. Warmer years.
During the day, the photosynthesis shutdowns when it gets too warm.
Okay, I can see the clear information that warmer environment can reduce the growth
Slow
of
down the
big trees.
plant.
Yeah, higher temperatures slow the rate. Next one.
One,
Paragraph
sir.
E.
E is one. First.
How deforestation harms the isolated trees. Okay. So I should be able to find isolated trees. How deforestation is actually affecting the isolated trees. This information must be seen. The Clark hypothesis, if correct, means tropical forests would shrink over time. The largest, oldest trees would progressively die off, tend not to be replaced. Okay, the oldest trees and also largest trees are going to be died, and they cannot be replaced easily. They are not going to be replaced. So the might trigger destabilization of climate. Okay, this is actually this means um, you know the reduction in the big trees number.
Mm.
The reduction in
Mm.
the big trees number, and if the new big trees and old trees and large trees won't grow, what
Mm.
happens to the environment? It triggers destabilization of the climate. So in
Mm.
this paragraph, I can see the environmental effects if the big trees die away, if the big trees die off.
Okay.
Okay, the change in the climatic conditions if the big trees
Dies.
dies, die off, right? If the big trees die, what happens has been given in this paragraph. As older tree die, forest could release some of their stored
Stored
carbon into
carbon.
the atmosphere, right? Prompting vicious cycle, okay, harmful cycle, bad cycle of further warming. Okay, it even contributes to global warming, forest
Yes.
shrinkage, and carbon emissions. Okay, if big trees die, there will be imbalance in the climatic conditions. The carbon is going to be
Mm.
emitted to atmosphere.
Mm.
It contributes to global warming, and forest is going to
Mm.
be going to be shrunk, right?
Mm.
And more carbon emissions. So you can't match the heading with this
Yes,
paragraph,
yes,
right?
yes, sir. But while studying, I got why I got this
So here we go. We have fourth one: impact of big tree loss
big and
on the
wider
wider area.
environment.
How
Yes,
environment
okay.
is going to be affected if the big trees die off, right?
Mm. Yes, sir.
Is it the fourth heading or not? Yeah. Next one.
For F only, I kept four
What's the previous heading you mentioned? You have just mentioned a
first
heading, right?
deforestation.
Deforestation, harm isolated trees. Yes, this is the one.
Mm.
Deforestation means,
Cutting the
um,
trees.
forests are going to be cut down, right?
Cutting down trees.
Uh, harm to, okay, how if you cut down the trees, that can actually harmful to isolated trees, separate trees, the trees which were separately grow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's see. So the information I should be able to see in the particular paragraph is about deforestation and how deforestation is harmful to the trees, right?
Mm.
That sort of information should be seen in the paragraph. You want to match to the heading. Big trees face threats from elsewhere. From some other place also there are threats for big trees. The most serious is increasing mortality, especially mature trees.
nature.
Okay, grown trees,
Mm.
grown up trees across much of the planet. Forests, slow growing ancient trees have been cleared from human use. Okay, so around the globe, most of the ancient trees were actually dying. Forest of slow growing ancient trees have been cleared due to human use. The humans are the reasons, right?
Mm.
The trees are being cleared by. In Western North America, most have been replaced by monocultures of fast growing conifers. You know conifers, right?
No, sir.
Conifers are going to be like this,
Okay, okay. Mm. Yes, yes,
right?
sir.
uh,
Yes.
like Christmas tree. So the big trees
Okay.
are actually vanishing, but these conifers are going to be established. These conifers are actually replacing the big trees. That's what they are
Okay.
talking. Siberia's forests are being logged at an incredible rate. Okay, in Siberia, forests are being cut down and converting them into logs. Logging in tropical
Mm.
forest is selective, but the timber cutters usually prioritize the biggest and oldest trees. Okay, the
Mm.
particular people who involve in this timber cutting prefer
Mm.
biggest and oldest trees. So if they cut
Mm.
one big or oldest tree, they are going to get more and more, much of timber, right?
Yes.
More number of logs. In the
Mm.
Amazon, many colleagues and I found the mortality rate for the biggest trees. It is talking about
Deforestation, I think.
death of biggest trees had tripled in small patches of rainforest surrounded by pasture. You know pasture, right? The open place for
Mm.
animals grazing,
Yes.
livestock grazing,
Mm.
right? This happens for two reasons. First one, they grow taller. Big trees become thicker and less flexible. Okay, when a tree is growing
Taller.
taller, what happens? Due
It
to
more thicker and
harsh
less
winds, it is
flexible.
going to be fallen off. If there are
Mm.
big, so strong wind, if there is a strong wind, the big trees are more likely to fall off,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. When winds blow across the surrounding cleared land, there is nothing to stop their acceleration. Yeah, because if this is where the big tree is growing, around it
Mm.
there is an open place. There is there is no forest at all. These big trees are
Mm.
growing alone in an isolated place like this. So if there is a strong wind, what happens? These big trees are going to be fallen off.
Short down, fallen down.
Obviously, because they are so tall. When they hit
Short,
the
tall, and
trees, the impact can snap them in half. Because if there is a forest around these set of big trees, group of big trees, of course the speed, the acceleration, the speed of the winds are going to be reduced by the forest in this
mm,
particular
yes.
outer space, right? But there was no trees at all, and these big trees are growing alone separately. They are
More
susceptible to
pressure.
harsh winds, more likely to
More pressure.
fall off,
Fall off.
right? So when they hit the trees, the impact can snap them in half. Yes, cut them in half. Second, rainforest fragments dry out when surrounded by dry, hot pastures, and the resulting drought can have devastating consequences. So there is another reason. Rainforest fragments dry out when surrounded by dry, hot pastures. So this open place is dry, okay. So
Mm.
if there is forest around this particular set of big trees, it's always greenery. right? It's always greenery, and the definitely helpful for the favorable ecosystem for all the
Okay.
forest and also these big trees. But there is no forest around this set of big trees. Everything is going to be dried out easily. So with that, with that particular kind of drought can have devastating consequences. Like one 4-year study, a 4-year study has shown that the the mortality rates will double for the smaller trees. Okay, if there are smaller trees growing separately, which were not surrounded by the thick forest, they are going to die off eventually. But the death rates is actually
4.5 times
uh,
increase for
so
big
that
trees.
actually 4.5 times for bigger trees. So for example, in a particular place, due to no forest surrounded by no forest surrounding the
It's a
what we
pasture
say
land. Pasture land.
smaller trees. If there is a case, smaller trees were not surrounded by forest. There is another case, bigger trees were not surrounded by
Forest.
forest. So both cases, the bigger trees are going to be affected 4.5 times more than smaller trees.
Smaller
If there is
trees.
one
Yes.
small tree fell, one small
Four
tree
big
fell, we
four
can see
big trees are falling.
4.5 bigger trees,
Are falling.
gets fallen.
Falling down.
For every one small tree fall, we can see 4.5 more trees, you know, falling in case of bigger trees. Have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
So this is actually isolated trees,
Yes.
secluded big trees are going to be affected due to harsh winds, right?
Yes, sir.
The number of big trees going to be reduced, and the big trees are going to be died off due to harsh winds. The harsh winds can affect the big trees if there is no forest around them, right?
Yes.
So we can say they are secluded or isolated trees are actually affected by environmental conditions. Isolated trees, yes. How deforestation harms isolated trees? In the first part of the paragraph, you can say deforestation, right? And the second part, due to deforestation, you will get open places, a pasture or something, right?
Mm.
Open places cannot stop the harsh winds, cannot reduce the speed of harsh winds, causing, you know, falling off big trees.
Bigger
Deaths of
trees.
big. Okay. Yeah.
Is the first one.
This is the first one. So once the particular half of the big tree had fallen on the ground, it doesn't help to the environment any way possible, right? So obviously there is a considerable significant consequence on the climatic conditions, further damaging the big trees again,
Mm-hmm.
right? So this how deforestation harms, that's actually title for paragraph here what we have just discussed, right?
And G is 7, sir.
So you're talking about the last paragraph, right?
Yes.
Risk for
Paragraph
pesticide
G.
infection, it's so easy. Even you read the first two
Mm.
sentences of the paragraph, you can get to
You
know,
can get the
right?
answer. Yes.
Clear?
Yes,
These are
sir.
the right answers. How many questions you have got correct
And two.
in this
Only
matching game?
four. Four.
There are 7, right?
Yes, sir.
Out of 7, you got okay. You lost 3.
I lost three.
Easy passage here.
Easy only, but little confusion, I think. I'll practice this book, sir. And this only.
Continue practicing this official material. No problem. And the next one is complete the sentences with a suitable vocabulary or word or phrase from the passage. You have to copy the word from the passage. You have to come up with the same word from the passage for each
Yes,
of the
sir.
lines. Okay. The biggest trees in the world can be found in.
Africa.
the biggest trees actually can be found across the world, but specifically in the passage, specifically from the passage, it is mightiest or native to North America.
North America, smallest.
Okay, you have to write North America.
Okay, North America, sir.
Big trees in the world can be found in. It has clearly been mentioned in the world, specifically in which area? North America. Second paragraph. You can see answer in the second paragraph. So mostly answer of the next paragraph may not be in the same second paragraph. Definitely after the sentence which answered the first question. I mean 8th question. Right? So answer of the 9th question can be seen in the information which is following the sentence which answered the 8th question. Not at all before the sentence answered the 8th question, right? These completing sentences follow the passage order.
Okay.
Next, 9th one. Some trees in the Northern America die because of dash made worse by gamba trees. Sorry, gamba grass. So we can clearly
Overrunning.
see gamba grass. Some trees in North America die because of
Overrunning.
overrunning made worse. No, it's not overrunning. Because of overrunning, no, overrunning is just overtaking, replacing. Okay, because of, I need a noun there in that.
Mhm.
So I got an information. Lead word is gamba, gamba.
Here, sir. Here. C. Passage C.
Northern Australia, gamba grass from Africa, overrunning the native savanna woodlands. It grows up to meters of the food, creating super hot fires. What's the problem with the grass, this gamba grass? They can catch the fire so easily, susceptible to fire.
Hmm.
Right? Have you
Yes.
got my point, buddy? Hot fires are
Yes.
fires.
Hot fires.
Can cause the deaths of trees. Fires are going to be made worse. Hot fires are fires.
Hot fires.
Next. The Clarks believe that the release of ash from dead trees could lead to the death of more trees.
Stored
Release of what?
carbon.
Buddy?
Stored carbon.
Correct,
Stored.
correct. From the dead trees, there will be carbon emission. Okay, so you can write
Hmm.
carbon or stored carbon. Both are okay. Right?
Hmm.
You can clearly see the proof line, right?
Yes, sir.
You can just go
So we
to
can,
go with the lead word
sir,
Clark.
we can use two words, no?
You can write two words, but one word also making the related sentence correct. No problem. You are gonna get the mark for this 10th. Even you have written simply carbon. Okay.
If I wrote a stored carbon, it is
Correct.
okay?
That's also correct.
Okay.
Strong or
Winds.
capable of damaging all tall trees in the Amazon. So strong what?
Strong winds. Strong
Winds.
winds.
12th one. Has a worse impact on tall trees than smaller ones. So what is that? Can affect
Same. Same passage, sir.
drought.
Drought.
Yes.
Sir. Drought.
Yeah, drought. This is the one. Drought can have devastating consequences.
Okay. Yes.
However, you can't try dry, hot pastures. There are three words. So the better one is drought.
Drought.
Drought is actually causing more deaths for bigger trees than smaller trees.
Smaller ones.
Huh. In western Northern America, a species of dash has destroyed many trees.
Bark beetle.
What's the species are they?
It's a bark beetle, sir.
I think you can see increasingly mild winters are causing massive outbreaks of bark beetle. Bark beetle, yes. That's what you said.
Yes, sir. Bark beetle.
You may simply write beetle. Okay.
Only one wrong, sir. All okay.
Great, great. So out of 13 questions, 5 wrong.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Out of 13 questions, how many questions you have got correct?
13, 5 wrong, sir.
Okay. So in the first
Not
paragraph.
in first 3 plus 1 4 wrong.
Okay, 4 wrong. So the making your score to 9.
9.
So in the first, please remember, concentrate much on first two paragraphs. I mean, first two passages, because both can, contribute to 26 points out of 40, because 13 plus 13. And again, these two passages, the firstly given two passages are not at all as difficult as the third passage. Third passage is something can, surely make your time run, so it takes much time to handle more number of new vocabulary, not at all well familiar topic that you can expect passage on, right? So I always indicate the students to concentrate much on first two passages. They are not at all as difficult as third passage. Out of 26 questions following these two passages, you should be able to score 21 or 20.
Okay.
Even
Okay,
you practice on ieltsonlinetest.com or any other platform, concentrate much on first two passages. For example, if you got 20 out of 26 from the first two passages, even you score only 6 or 7 correct out of 14 questions following the third passage, the overall score is 26 or 27, that is equivalent to 6.5.
Okay, sir.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
This is one of the strategies generally students follow who feel themselves weak in reading. Okay?
Okay.